former prisoner and inmate.
You did it.
What are you doing, Guns?
You bit the hell out of me.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the first we get by, we get some got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success after prison, he's going to share his story with us right now.
Diamond shine, best at night. You wear yours, I'll wear mine. Go dumb.
Anyway, so I was thinking, I could share a story, and I thought about the last story that I shared about Ricky. And so I'm going to tell you about the time I knocked some dude out and thought I killed him. And I kind of got history with the dude from my neighborhood. He never really liked me. I never really liked him. He's one of those guys who, like, thought he was tough, but he wasn't. Maybe he was a little tough. I mean, but not really. He liked to fight and be in drama and get drunk. He's a bigger guy. And he just liked to start crap with people. Not usually us, but other schools, at parties and bars and stuff. And so he was kind of a douchebag in that way. He might be a great guy today, I don't know. His name is Tim. I'm not gonna say his last name because some troll will look him up and say, "Oh, never talked about he knocked and killed you, almost killed you," which is true. I'm sure he'd be like, "Yeah, so what?" But so it starts off when I just moved back from New York City, and I was kind of in need to make some quick money, which I always was because I didn't work, of course, because I'm a loser. So my girlfriend's parents went away for the weekend to Florida. So I said, let's have a New Year's party. You know, a bash. Kegs, Jello shots, charge $20 to get in. Easy money. No, I could make $1,000, $1,200. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm down. So we get the word out, parties there, da-da-da-da. Now my girlfriend says to me, Al, no trouble. No fighting, no trouble. And I'm like, yeah, no. Your teeth ever itch? I said, of course not. I'm starting off with trouble. I said, but that dude, Tim, if he shows up and acting a fool, acting tough, because the story goes back, and I don't want to get into that story with the whole Eli thing, but that Eli was one of his boys, and so he naturally kind of sided with him while I was beefs with him, and I don't think he didn't like, and he never really liked me. And it's because I was kind of not part of their inner circle crew, but I was part of the bigger picture crew from my school. We had a little crew called Boys in the Hood, and he was part of it. And anyways, but he didn't really like me, which I didn't care. It's a gumpy ass. So we have this party. I'm drinking a little bit. At midnight, this one dude, Tony, who I liked, I actually later punched him in the eye and split his eye open over the beef with, might have been after that, or before that, I mean, at Point Billiards, the club, all because of Eli. But he was there tonight, we were cool, because I was cool with Eli now. We made up, we're cool, you know, we were selling steroids together, making a bunch of money, you know, the beef was squash and coke. So Fat George, it's midnight, right? Right at midnight, Tony's got a bottle of Christain champagne. I said, let me get a swig of that. Right at midnight, while everyone's I grab the bottle, put my thumb in it, and shake it. And I spray it all over freaking everywhere. And my girlfriend's dad was a smoker, so the ceiling was like, had smoke tar on it. So when I sprayed it, the whole ceiling, now you can see little brown drips all over the ceiling. Because my girlfriend was mad about that. She said, you gotta clean that up, which I don't think I did. And the girls were all like, she had her niece there who was our age, Christain, and you know, there was probably like 50 people in the house, you know. I think we had about $1,300 in cover charge, you know, to get in. We only had, I think, 1 or 2 kegs, you know, 3 or 4 trays of Jello shots, and everything was good. And the dude, Tim, shows up with his little crew. And one of them's Scott, a dude named Scott, who's a bad drunk. He's mad at me because I beat up a guy a couple years before at Harpo's dingy ass biker club. Beat up a guy really bad, and that guy ended up suing me, him, and my friend Brian for like $300,000 in medical. Right? He didn't try to press charges on me because he knew he couldn't. He was drunk. He came at me. He kept coming. I beat him up really bad. His lawyer called me and says, "You got to go to court." I said, "I'm not going to court. Unless I get a subpoena from the judge, I'm not going." He's like, "Oh, you have to go." I'm like, "Listen, I hope he paid you a good retainer because this dude was twice my size, drunk, and kept coming at me." He's like, "Well, you did $300,000 in medical repairs on this dude. He spent a month in the hospital and da-da-da." I said, "What do you want me to do? The guy's 250 pounds drunk, keeps coming. I'm just going to let him have it. Don't you think that was a little excessive?" I'm like, "No, I'm fighting for my life." He's like, "Well, you got to go to court." I'm like, "I'm not going to court." And I never did. But the two dudes who are also, the dude went home after I whooped his ass really bad. That's the guy I broke my knuckle on. My knuckle's still messed up. It's also that fight when I broke my knuckle, they gave me pain pills after surgery, and that sparked my addiction into play. And over the next 10 years, I was up and down on pill addiction. You know what I mean? Not a lot, but still, I kind of relapse like every 3 years and go off on a pill tangent, and eventually heroin, you know, for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. The last time was like a year and a half before I got locked up. And that's when I was really out there like a freaking lunatic. And so they show up, and the dude Scott, who went to court like a total dumbass, I kept telling him, "Don't go to court. They don't have nothing." Dude, we got 30 witnesses from our school that saw it was a fair one-on-one fight, and he hit me first. I made sure he did, because I punched him in the face in the club because he was bullying my friend Brian. And I went up to him and I said, "Hey man, I don't like bullies, bro." And he goes, "Oh well," right in my face. "Oh well." I'm like, "Oh well." Bam! Now you can call that a sucker punch if you want, but you know, he knows I'm a fighter. He knows how I'm cut. And if you get in my face and goes, I'm like, bang, I hit him right in the nose. Boom. I wasn't even aiming for the nose, but I hit him in the nose. Explodes his nose. He goes down. Bouncers come over and say, "You got to leave." You know, they knew me. They're like, "Al, you got to leave." These twin brothers with long hair. It's a biker club. And so I go outside. Moral of the story, he comes out, wants to fight. That's a whole nother story. I could do a whole story on that fight. But I end up smashing. And then my whole school was out there. Like 30 people from my school. Not my school, because I got expelled from that school, but all my friends, the school they went to, they were there. And when I went outside to fight this dude, they all came outside and watched. And that's when I said, he's like, "I call my mom a B word," and this and that. My mom had just died. And so I was like, "Bro, you don't want to fight me, man. Like, I just splattered you with one punch. You can't see yourself, but you're a mess. Come on, mother ever, yeah, blah, 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 I'll do this, do that, and that." I said, "You really want to fight me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." I pulled my watch off, handed my wallet to this girl and my watch. I kicked my shoes off because I like to fight with no shoes. And I said, "All right, you got to hit me first. You got to hit me first." So he did. I didn't think he was going to do it. Honestly, I didn't think he'd have the balls to do it. I thought he would. The road's got a little bump to it, man. Hatch in the back, jailing. I didn't think he was going to do it. I think he would punk out. But he hit me, boom, right in the nose. Gave me a bloody nose. But he didn't hit me that hard. Like, all he did was make me mad. Bang! Motherfucker! Boom! I grabbed him by his collar. Started pounding him. I only hit him like 5 or 6 times, but they were gnarly hits. Like, I crushed him, you know. So, anyways, fast forward a couple years or whatever it is, 18 months, whatever. Because the guy went home and told the parents that he got jumped by me, Brian, and Scott. It's a total lie. The truth is, we were leaving after the inside thing. I said, "I want no problem with you, bro. I'm not trying. I just got out of jail. I just got out of jail like 2 weeks before. I'm living with my grandma and grandpa Togo." And I was like, "Nah, bro, I just got out of jail. I'm not going to jail in life for beating your ass." So we get in the car and we're leaving. Like 5 of us are packed in the car. The bouncers kicked us out. As we're pulling off, he's sitting on the side of Harpo's and he says, Brian rolls the window down, was driving. He goes, Al whooped your ass. He goes, I'll beat your ass. And Pfeiffer's like, yeah, beat nothing. And he jumps out, runs up on Pfeiffer, and the dude he knocks out Pfeiffer. One punch, boom, knocks him out. Then the dude Scott, like, jumps between him and says, all right, man, he's down, he's right up. And the guy pops Scott, too. He's a so-called tough guy. He's kind of a big, muscular kid, works out, acting tough all the time. Boom, dude hits Scott. He doesn't do nothing. I think it knocks him back. He's like, where's Lindblom? I want Lindblom. I'm in the back seat of the car, so I get out, but he can't see me because his back's to me. I said, I'm right here, bro. You really want to go? He's like, yeah, my left, let's go. So everybody from the school who was leaving all runs back over. We were in the middle of the street on Harper Street at Harpo's. And everybody crowds around. That's when I take off my shoes and crap. I said, all right, let's go. He punches me up, beat his ass real bad. And then flash forward to this party I'm having. And the dude Scott's there, and he's all drunk. I'm wearing a cream-colored, like, knitted sweater. New Year's, it's cold. And, like, khakis. I'm, like, dressed up, for New Year's. The dude comes in there, and, like, he's being cool first. And the dude Tim's there, and he's not really saying much to me. And then Scott tries to, like, wrestle with me a little bit. And I manhandle him, right? But he's got his hand twisted up in my sweater. And really hard. I'm like, yo, let go of my sweater, bro. You're gonna rip my sweater. And he won't let go. And I smash him against the wall. I'm like, yo, let go of my sweater, bro. Let go. He won't let go. He's like, oh, you cost me $3,000, you put up Norberg, and I gotta pay all this money for a lawyer. And I'm like, yeah, because you're a dumbass. You shouldn't have went to court like I did. Oh, man, you owe me $3,000. You won't let go. And I said, bro, if you don't let go of my sweater, I'm gonna beat your ass. And then my boy Mario runs over, who I got a lot of respect for. I always loved Mario. And he, like, pulls us apart, and, like, 4 of my friends push me back. And the dude, they take Scott, and they, like, push him up the stairs. Go leave before Al, Al's gonna beat your ass. You don't want to do this, bro. You're drunk. I think it was on acid, too. And I'd find out later. And then all of a sudden, the dude Tim, because all my boys were, like, between me and the dude, and they shove him upstairs, and I'm like, man, freaking idiot, drunk. And the dude, Tim, goes, ha. He's like, what, you scared of Scott? You scared to fight? And I said, bro, I'll beat that mother effer's ass right now. So I go charging, blasting through, like, a wall of my boys. Fat George barricades the stairwell so I can't get through. He's like 300 pounds. I just smashed my way through. It's about a minute after he went upstairs. So by the time I get upstairs, everybody goes charging outside after me. They all want to see the fight. What's going to happen? So I charge outside, charge down the driveway from the back door, get out front. He's gone. I don't see the guy anywhere. I'm looking, I go, yeah, where's that motherfucker? I'll smash him. My boys were smart enough to get him in a car down the block. And I don't know if they had left or were waiting to leave. But I was just, like, looking for him. Everybody comes outside. My girl's crying. They're like, no, you're ruining the party. Yeah, you said you weren't doing it. I said, all right. So I tell everyone back in the house. If you're staying, stay, drink, parties. It's a party. But if you're leaving, get the frick out of here. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit on the front lawn. The cops will come. And at that moment, that dude Tim says, ha, Al, you just got punked by Scott. He says his last name, though. And I said, yeah? I want to see you punk me out, mother effer. My exact words. And he says, I'll fight you. And he puts up his dukes. This is Atlanta. Can't be already. No, it's not. I'll fight you. Puts up his dukes. So I run up on him. He's like this. What's up? I'll fight you. He throws his coat off. What's up? And I walk up and just wham! Jaw shot him. Knock him out. Knock him. I mean, he just goes bang and falls straight back. Kabloom. And busts his head on the concrete. Splits his head open. I mean, he's out. He's sleeping done. So I'm done. So I go in the house because I gotta pee. The funny thing is George gave me a line of coke. like 5 minutes before this happened. He always, every New Year's, he'd be like, you know, he's always got Coke, and he'd be like, here's a line, do a quick line of Coke. And I'm like, all right, one line at midnight, you know, 5 minutes to midnight, I'd do a line. So I was kind of coked up and geeked out. And so I go in the house, they're all crowded around him, he's knocked out his boys. I go in the house to take a peek. And I'm trying to make sure where I am. I'm wearing a helmet. And I'm in the bathroom taking a leak. I leave the door open though. I don't know why. And all of a sudden I hear a girl's voice in the house go, Ramona, call the cops. Tim stopped breathing. He ain't breathing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I run to the window, the picture window, and I look outside, and I see them doing CPR. They're doing CPR on him. And I'm like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I don't think it was the punch. It was from when he cracked his head and he fell straight back. Bang! I heard his head thump. So my instinct, I think it's because I was coked, you know, a little bit coked up and half drunk, is to just run. So I don't even put a coat on. That's how stupid I am. I'm freaked out. I'm freaking out. I think I just killed a guy. So I run to the backyard, jump the back fence, run through another backyard across the street, jump its back fence, and there's a school there. The school I went to as a kid called Kennedy Middle School. I jump that fence. It's a big, like 10-foot fence. And I run to there's a park, Memorial Park in Masonic and Jefferson. They were doing some landscaping work, so there's a big mound of like wood chips. And I go back there and I hide. About 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, I hear an ambulance and I see the lights in the tops of the trees because it's only 2 blocks over. And you can see the flashing lights, you can hear it, they go to the house. And I'm just like praying, God, please, no, please don't let this guy die. I see the ambulance lights for about 10 minutes, then they leave. I wait another 5-10 minutes and I walk to a payphone. Oh no, I get a beep. There's back with beepers. I get a beeper from my girlfriend, 911. So I'm like, what the hell? I walk to the payphone at the gas station, the Payless gas station at the corner. And I call and they're like, I'm like, what happened? They're like, no. They took him to the hospital. They drove him to the hospital before the ambulance got there. So the ambulance showed up, but Tim was already gone. They put him in Eli's car. So they put him in Eli's car and drove him to the hospital. I would later find out that he was unconscious the whole time. They carried him into the hospital, and then he woke up in the hospital. At which point, he's like, I'm fine, I want to go. Forget this. He was drunk and tripping on acid. So he's like, I want to leave. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you something. After I ran away, the Scott kid pulls up. He comes out of the car and walks over, and he starts talking trash, because they all said, you know, Al ran off. So he gets out and he's talking trash to my girl. She's like, you wouldn't be saying nothing if he was here, punk. You know, if he's here, you'd be quiet as a church mouse, get your ass beat. He's like, shut up, B, and he shoves her. She's a little thing, 4'11", 110 pounds. Shoves her into the snow. She falls down. She had $1,300 in, like, wedged in her dress right here. It goes flying all over the place. She gets up, pulls a shoe off, and starts trying to hit the dude. Now, my boy George starts telling Scott, dude, you better get out of here, man. If Al comes back and finds out you pushed this girl in the snow, you're dead, bro. Meanwhile, everybody's scooping up the money because it's dark. It's out on the front lawn. Everybody grabs up all the money. So she loses basically all of it. She got a couple $100, but that's it. So, and then another dude named Chris, I won't say his last name either, who I always kind of liked, but when I was beefed with Eli, I was beefed with him. I punched him in the face too. He came to my boy's house to buy a bag, but it was my bag when he was leaving. I said, what's up, got something to say? And I said, boom, I punched him in the mouth, knocked his head off the wall. Nick Borelli's house, where I was living. And so, so the dude's in the hospital. He wakes up, wants to leave. He starts walking towards the door and collapses again. and he's unconscious. And they pick him up, stay in observation for a few, and then they leave. It's like, I want to go party. It's New Year's. Forget this. I got knocked out. Whatever. So then I get a call. So, by the way, the dude Chris, who I brought up, he threw a bottle at the house and smashed a hole in the window. Well, after I had run off. Tough guys. Throws a bottle, bang, smashes a hole in the like one pane of the double pane front window, right? He's talking, yelling crazy. We'll all take L on. And they ain't never gonna take me on, whatever. He's talking crap. This leads to a big problem. So I end up getting a call, and they're like, "Yo, Tim lost his beeper in front of your house, and you knocked him out. Can he get his beeper?" So we went out and found it. I said, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't care. Should have been running his mouth, but I'll let him have it. Whatever." So he comes get his beeper, and that's pretty much the end of it, right? But when I come back and see the hole in the window, my boy George had seen him throw it. He said, "Yeah, I saw Chris throw the bottle through the window." So the next morning, I called the dude Chris, who lived with my best friend's brother, James. They lived in Detroit. And I call him, real calm and cool on the phone, say, "Hey man, you threw the bottle through the window. Now you gotta pay for it." "Hell, I did." I said, "Bro, George saw it. If you lie to me and try to deny it, then we're gonna have a much bigger problem. A much bigger problem." Let's kill the spider. He said, "Hell, I was drunk. I don't even remember, man. No, these guys told me in the morning what I did. I didn't even remember. I was tripping on that." I said, "It's all good, bro." I said, "You got to give me $800. He said, "I don't have $800. I said, "Bro, if you don't pay me, I'm going to beat your ass every time I see you for the rest of your life. That's the deal." I only have $500 on me, and I get paid this Friday." And I said, "That's fine. I'll come get the $500. Give me the other $300. So I go to his house. They're there. I take the $500, and I end up sitting down and like watching college football for like an hour with them. We smoked a joint. You know, it had to be very awkward because like I just extorted the dude for $500 or $800. But James was my boy's brother. James didn't really like me either. He was because me and my best friend Jay used to pick on him a lot, which is what brothers do. But it was his brother, so he could pick on him. But if I picked on him, it was in the wrong. And I didn't that much, but I still terrorized him a little bit, abused him. It's kind of funny, but I always liked the kid. He's super funny. He's real cool. He just never liked me because I picked on him when we were younger. So I ended up taking the $500 and I leave, and then I go get the other 300, following week or whatever it was, right? Now, these dudes are salty as hell about it. They're super salty. So, the dude I extorted, you know what I'm saying? The dude Tim, who I knocked out, he's just like, it is what it is. He actually got in another fight that night, same night, with a dude who could have whooped his ass bad. A guy who picked him up, body slammed him on the ground, and chipped his tooth. And he was just acting an idiot, so he got treated like one. So, what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. He was a big tough guy from Detroit. Who was friends with the guy who lived across the street, Chris Carver, from his house. So, fast forward, now these guys, this is how scumbaggy these guys are. So, now at the time, I was fresh back from New York. I didn't even have a car. So what I would do is drive my girl's car every day, which is fine. She had a cool car. It was a Probe GT Turbo, white, tinted, pimped out. It was kind of a badass car. So, but these dudes knew that I drove her car every day because she worked every day. So they knew I'd drive her to work. I was living with her. Her parents didn't even know I was living there. I'd sneak in at night, sneak out, in the morning. I'd climb through the window. They would have never let me live there. Because she had two brothers that hated me, so that's a whole nother story. But, and then I'd drive her to work, drop her off, take her car, and I'd run around selling weed and whatever all day. Run around doing my rounds, Sometimes doing, mob errands, not that often, but sometimes. And just selling weed and doing all kinds of crime and scumbag stuff. My girl never knew what the frick I was doing. She just knew I didn't have a job, and I'd leave And I didn't even let her know I had money, which sometimes I didn't, but I usually had a couple $1,000 in my pocket, selling weed and steroids and little basic rackets and scams. Anything I could do to make money, I did it. From flipping stolen merch to, just everything, man. You could name any scam. Hey, if I could make some money, I was involved, rather than work, because I'm an idiot. So, you just know that I drop her off every day and I go to work. I got to tell you, fast forward another story. Then we'll get back to that. I was driving to my buddy Mark's house one day, and I got a million stories with him. I could do a whole video on him. I was driving my girl's car. She had a new plate, but I didn't put it on. So the plate was bad, like old. She had it in the back seat. I was just lazy, didn't put it on. I pull up at a light. Here comes a cop, pulls in behind me. Oh, he's gonna pull me over. It just happened to be like 2 houses from my buddy Mark's house. So he flicks his lights. I pull into Mark's drive. The cop walks up. He goes, "License red state." I said, "I know the plate's bad. It's in the back seat right there." He says, "Okay, that's cool. So just give me your license and registration." I said, "Well, this is my house right here. Can I run in and get it?" He said, "Yeah. What's your name though?" I tell him my real name because there's no way around it. He's gonna find that out. I walk in the house. I don't even knock. I open the door, walk in, and my friend and his girl and her little sister, who's like 6, are standing in the living room. They're getting ready to leave. They're like dressed up, coats on, literally ready to walk out. I open the door and say, "Mark, the cops are in the driveway. They're gonna want to come in here. They don't have a warrant. You can't let them in. Just don't let them in." He goes, "Hell, come on, man." I said, "Just don't let them in." He's like, "Bro, I can't do that. I don't want no problems." I said, "Never mind." And I shoot out the back door. I jump a few fences. There's a hospital over there. I run to a payphone in the hospital. Now the cops are everywhere looking for me. Because they run my name. I got warrants. I had warrants. So nothing major, like driving on suspended warrants, stuff like that. There might have been something more than that. God only knows what I could have had a warrant for. But I knew I had at least one warrant for driving suspension. Probably multiple. Probably had 4 or 5 warrants. So I call my girl's work and I say, "Hey, listen, come get me." She's like, "You got my car?" I'm like, "Have one of your friends come get me at work. Leave work, come get me." So they do. It's only like 2 miles away, so they come and get me. I jump in the back of this like old Buick, and I see cops all over the place. They stop some random dude who's like walking down the sidewalk. They thought maybe it was him because there's all these cops looking for a guy who's on the run. And when I duck down in the back seat to hide as we go by. And that's it. They don't catch me. They call my girl. It's like, "Yo, we have your car. We impounded your car. Da da da." It's like, "Where's your boyfriend?" They knew. She's like, "I don't know." She's like, "Just to get your car back." And he's like, "It's my car. I'll get my car back." So I actually left my beeper in the car too. So she goes and says, "Hey, can I get my beeper back?" To the police station. They're like, so they had people that beeped me, and they called them back. Like, "Yeah, what can I do for you? What's up?" Of course, my boys and people dealt with it. They knew that it wasn't me, and they knew it was some kind of what, "Yo, what's up? What do you need?" They're like, "Al?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, and then they're like, and they'd hang up. So she says, "Give me my beeper," and they give her the beeper. They give her car back, like a release. She unimpounds the car, and then that's it. Cops can't do nothing. But now they're looking for me hard. So this is a few weeks before I knock this dude out, and the dude throws the bottle through the window, and I extort him and all that. They know I'm wanted. These freaking scumbags. They know that cops are looking for me wanted. So I'm assuming the dude, Chris, who I extorted for the $800, calls the cops on me and says, "Yo, if you're looking for Al Lindblom, every day he drops his girl off to work at Ponderosa around this time, and then picks her up." So, like the next day, I go to drop her off, but I'm like kind of hungry, and so the restaurant just opened. So I'm gonna go in there and get a free meal, right? Because I could always get a free meal at Ponderosa where she worked. So I walk in, and I'll tell you what happens. I'm at the dentist's office now, but I'll call you back. So I got good news and bad news. The dentist couldn't put my filling in because my blood pressure was up too high. I wear a patch for blood pressure, right? But it fell off because it's been humid. And so duct taped it on with this like clear duct tape. It's Gorilla tape. But it's falling off, and I think my blood pressure's up. Plus, I'm scared of dentists. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't like dentists. I'm scared of dentists. I felt a pain from a tooth years ago that was so excruciating, it broke me. Like, I was driving down the street, I bit a piece of popcorn, and I was just like, I had to pull over, man. My eyes watered, my mouth watered. I'm just like, ugh. It was the worst pain I ever felt in my life. So, and when he's describing what he's going to do, he says, it's close to the nerve, we're going to do this, we'll do a great job, but there could be a throbbing pain afterwards. I'm like, oh, no, not the throbbing pain. And so I'm just like, man. So the good news is that they put this medicine on there that actually turns your tooth black. There's no way around that. But since it's way back as a molar, you can't see it anyways. But so they put this for anyway. So I got to go to Detroit for a week and film, and I just don't want to, it hasn't been causing me any pain or problems, but I don't want to end up taking a bite of something, being so anyways, it's good. They put a temporary in. It should last a couple of weeks, they said, and so that's that. But they said get you a blood pressure thing, so test your blood pressure, keep testing it. And they said if your blood pressure is still high, go to the hospital because you're at risk of a stroke or a heart attack. It's pretty high. It was like 190 over 120 at one point. I always have high blood pressure because I wear a patch as part of my headaches. But I guess, they want me to monitor it in case if it doesn't go down significantly, you get that bottom number under 100, go to the ER, and tell them that. Because I have a factor V blood condition, which makes me susceptible to blood clots. So, anyways, enough of that. Let's get back to the story, right? So, back to, where were we? So, I go to drop off my girl from work in the morning, but I decided to go in to get something to eat. So I walk in with her. As I'm walking in, I noticed there's a narco car in the parking lot. Anyone who knows narco cars, it was a Crown Vic back in the day, but it was like a black one, black, and that's what the detectives drive, not the regular cops. Probably has lights. It might not even have lights, but it's a black Crown Vic. It's a narco car. The undercover cops they use, they're not really undercover. You know what the frick they are. But so I'm walking in and I see that and I think, that's odd. Now my mind is already formulating. I got these dudes mad at me. I extorted one of them. I knocked one of them out. I'm beefed out with these dudes, and I got warrants. And I ran from the cops like a week before. I got out my boy's house, ran through his house out the back door, got away. So the cops are looking for me. I know that, all right? So as I go to walk in, I see this cop car, whatever, and I walk in and I see two detectives. They're sitting there eating lunch. It's probably like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I go in there and I order up a steak, or because that's what they serve, steak. And I don't even think I did that. I think I just went to the salad bar, do some chicken thighs on there, a bunch of stuff, salad bar, sit down and eat. But the whole time I'm watching them two detectives, and they keep looking at me. So I'm thinking, they recognize me. They know who I am. But they don't say nothing. And I leave. But here's the crazy part. As I'm walking out after I have lunch, just as I walk out the door, here comes a cop going down the road. I literally have to stop so it goes by. I'm like, whatever, it's just a cop. I look, it's the same cop that I ran from. Same cop, I recognize him. But he acts like he doesn't see me. He just keeps driving. He acts like he doesn't see me. And he goes by, and I'm like, holy crap, if that dude would have looked at me, I'd be, they're looking for me. It was all set up. They were all planning to get me. They were just confirming what their tip said. The rats ratted me out. So I go do what I do all day, go about my business, run around selling weed. God only knows what I was doing that day, but nothing good, I'm sure. Just criminal stuff. Jumping around from house to house in the neighborhood, drop a bag off here, pick up money there, go see this guy about making some money here, go see that guy. I could have got a call from Tony Jack or a bookie. I could have went and seen him. I could have collected money. I could have dropped off money. I could have ran in air all day long. You know, anyone who's a street guy who's had any experience in that world understands that's what it is. You don't have to be tied to the mob to do that. Most of my stuff wasn't mob stuff. It was just, you know, criminal scumbag stuff. But if I got a call from a mob guy and he said, "Hey, you want to make a buck, Alonzo?" I'd be like, yeah, what's up? And I did. You know, nothing major. Collection, security, and most of collection, security, but other stuff. And I, you know, because I worked in that strip club, the nightclub for years, and I met all these guys who were cousins and uncles, and so they always had stuff going too. And if they needed an extra guy, they'd give me a call. But anyways, so I come back to my girlfriend's work that following night, and I park her car. It's like 11 o'clock at night. We're picking up. She's working like a 12-hour shift. I go inside, eat some more food. You know, I go to the salad bar and I load up, eat. The irony is one other piece of this is that's kind of funny. A couple little things. That morning, when I saw those two detectives in the place, I had a couple of bottles of steroids on me that I was selling, that my boy Mike wanted. Throughout the day, one of my errands was going to be able to run these over to his house. But he worked all day, so I wouldn't see him until like 5, 6 in the afternoon. So I didn't want to have them on me. So I told my girl, I'm like, this is what a soldier she was. I said, listen, hold these for me. She's like, why? I'm like, just hold them for me. Put them in your purse, hold them for me. And so, and I gave her a pipe. I had a weed pipe. And the handcuffs didn't find that, but that's, anyways, regardless, I give her the steroids. So in the evening when I come back, she closes up shop, I eat food. Now we're walking out of the place. I'll never forget it. I grabbed an orange, a big fat orange, and as I'm walking towards the door, I'm starting to peel this orange because that's going to be my dessert. Just as I go to open the door to walk out, I see cops pulling in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, where are they going? You know, because it's a big strip mall behind us. And but they come flying up and they park in front of Ponderosa. Then I see another cop, parked in. And I turn around and walk right past my girl. I'm like, yo, cops. It's like, what? I'm like, I gotta go out the back door. And all of a sudden, boom, the cops come busting in the back door. And the funny part is, she had a boss named Greg. He was decent enough dude, kind of a douchebag. He was always hitting on my girl, like flirting with her a little bit. And he knew he had a girl. He was just a dork. He was taking the trash out. So when the cops pull up and see him taking the trash out, like, get on the ground. They freaking get him face down on the ground. Oh yeah, that's what I had a warrant for. I had a warrant for the pistol. That's when I was out I bail jumped for the pistol. So in the last story last episode, Street Beat, I talked about how I bonded out for possession of pistol when I got caught with this pistol with my friend Mark. And then I bonded out and then go to court, so I was bail jumped. And this is the reason why I was scared of the cops when they pulled me over. I went to my boy's house and out the back door because I knew I had this bail jump and bond for the gun, which is a pretty serious charge. You know what I'm saying? If it was a drive not suspended, I would have been like, yeah, I just pay the bond. It's $500 and get out, whatever. Sometimes it could be more. I've had drive not suspended bonds be $5,000 a couple times. Douchebag like captains. So I turn around, I go to walk back into the restaurant, you know, and her colleagues are in there, like, all getting ready to leave. I'm around the back, and all of a sudden, her boss, Greg, is on gunpoint on the ground by the dumpster behind the restaurant. And they find, that's what it was, they find a weed pipe on him. And I think it's the weed pipe that I gave Ramona, but I think she gave it to one of her friends, like, you can have it. Because I told her, I don't want this. What, do you want this? Maybe one of your friends want this. I don't smoke weed out of pipes ever anyways. I just want to get it out of the car. They didn't want it on me, right? So, anyway, somebody dropped it or left it. He found it, so he had it in his pocket. This manager named Greg. And so when the cops search him, they find a weed pipe. He's like, I'm the freaking manager. I found this on the floor. But, I wonder if this trout in Miller's Creek. Anyways, so the cops bust in the front door. My back is to them. I see freaking lasers because I'm walking back towards the back door. I don't know that Greg's in the face down by the back door. And I hear Lindblom, and I stop, and I see the laser from the guns. They're like, Lindblom, and I stop. I turn around, and they're like, get on the ground, get on the ground. And I recognized the cops, like I knew them from the neighborhood, right? I grew up in that city, St. Clair Shores. That's my town. I know most of the cops. They know me. Most of them are cool. They don't bug me or harass me. They know I'm a drug dealer and a criminal, but they're fair. They've let me go as much as they've arrested me. Often just with a warning. Find me with weed, throw it on the ground, go. I'm saying? Driving on suspension, go. Stop driving with your bad plate, go. So I recognized the cop. I don't remember his name, but I at the time I did. I said, hey, oh no, yeah, it was Carla something's dad. It was her dad. I can't remember his name, but her name was Carla. Her dad was a cop from the neighborhood. I'd known him for years. He helped me when I got hit in the eye with a rock. Somebody threw a rock out the window, out their windows. They were driving by, and I was on my moped with no helmet, and a rock beamed me in the eye, and I almost crashed. I was blind. I couldn't see. He ended up driving me home. Cop pulls up. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't see, man. Somebody hit me with a rock. Chester is his name. Officer Chester. That's his name, Carla Chester. So I see it's him, and he's got the laser in my eye, and he's trying to blind me with the laser. Well, I got a warrant for a gun. So that's why they're, I said, Chester, it's me. Al Lindblom, it's me. Relax. He's like, all right, still. He's like, well, we got a warrant that says you wanted for a gun, a weapon, bro. You got a gun? I said, I ain't got no freaking gun, bro. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm not going to, it is what it is. You got me, man. It's for 10 cops here. Where am I going to go? He's like, all right, you go. I said, put the gun down, bro. Stop waving the freaking gun in my face. Because they're walking towards me. There's like 4 of them. They all got the laser beams in my eyes. I said, chill, bro. I ain't going nowhere, man. It's my girl right here. Just relax. So they said, you're going to be cool? I said, yeah, I'm cool, whatever. And they cuffed me up and they take me to jail. And that is when I ended up going to jail, where I ended up with Ricky for 2 weeks. So if you remember the last story I told, that's when I went down. Now at this point, my bond is like $50,000. I'm not getting out. So I go to in the county jail, go to court, but I end up getting a little bit lawyer, and they get it thrown out. 2 things got it thrown out: Ray Gonzalez, the bail bondsman, and Officer Miller, who was the cop, who was my friend's dad, my friend I sold steroids to. He was the one who arrested me for the gun. So I called him, and I said, hey man, if I get convicted of this gun, I get 2 years in prison, man. I'm not trying to go to prison. He's like, don't worry, I'll handle it. So he's like, I'll get it dropped down to a misdemeanor. So he did. He went and got it, somehow talked to the prosecutor, whatever he did, and I went to court, and they charged me with attempted possession of a weapon undisclosed. So they don't disclose if it was a knife, a gun, whatever. I attempted to possess a weapon, which is only like a 30-day misdemeanor. And they gave me 2 weeks in jail. That was like a 1-year misdemeanor. But they gave me 2 weeks in the county jail. And I had already served like a week, so I just went back to the county jail for a week, and that's when I was with Ricky for those 2 weeks. So, anyways, those punk-ass mother suckers, I'm sorry, I gotta stop saying that so much, but it's not Christian or wholesome talk. But they ratted me out, and it all started with this dude Scott. But I will say this. I'll finish the story on what happened with that dude Scott. No, a couple things happened with that dude Scott. One time, I was going to City Rhythms. It was around the same time. I know these guys ratted me out and told them this is how you can find Al. How else would they know? It was a complete setup. They knew the whole thing. They knew everything. So I know these scumbags freaking call the cops on me. What kind of freaking weakling punk ass mother? I told them, bro. I flat out called them and said, hey, I would have a lot more respect for you guys if you just jumped me. If you just said, hey, we're sick of Al freaking beasting on us. We're just gonna jump him, man. Like the next time we see him, we're gonna stomp him out. I'm like, there's 5, 6, 7, 10 of you guys. If you all jump me, what can I do? It'd take maybe 3 of you, maybe 3 or 4. If someone's gonna get freaking their jaw broke, maybe. But if you get 4 or 5 on me, you're gonna get me. I'd have respect for that. But you punk ass mothers, I'm like, call the cops on me, man? Rat me out? Weakling mother, I'm mad as hell. But the dude, Scott, who had pushed my girl in the snow, now I got it out for him. I want his ass. So I end up going to that nightclub, City Rhythms, which is the same nightclub where me and Ricky got in a fight with those Albanians. That's the one where I got my nose broken with brass knuckles. And like I said, this is all around the same era, the same time. So I'm going to the club. I only live a mile or two away. I pull into the parking lot. I'm by myself. I don't even have anyone with me. To be honest, I didn't have a lot of friends. Which you can tell why. I mean, I had a couple of good friends, but 3 or 4 good friends, like my little crew, but who knows? A lot of them, they like, we're going to a strip bar and simp. I'm like, I'm not going to a strip bar and simp, bro. I'm not going there to throw money at no freaking girls. I mean, strip club's cool. I always got numbers and end up, dating them. But I didn't, I wanted to go to the club, dance and just, chill. This club was banging. So I go to City Rhythms, which is also called Rhythm Cafe. They changed the name a couple times, so I can't remember at the time if it was Rhythm Cafe or City Rhythms. But I pull in the parking lot, right? And there's a line out the door. There's like 25, 30 people in line. There's that awning that goes out about 10 yards with like a red carpet leading into like the breezeway that leads to the coat check, and then there's the club. I pull in, I see that dude Scott and his whole crew and some of their girls. They're all there. Sarah Patiglio, 3 or 4 of the girls, and Scott and their whole crew. There's like 5 of them. And as I pull in, I'm by myself, and I drive right by him, and I'm looking dead at them. And they all look at me. They must have recognized Ramona's car. I don't even find a parking spot. There was nowhere to park. I just literally drive up about 30 feet, stomp on the guy, jump out. Now there's ropes, so they're in the line, and it's roped off, and they're all in line. And I walk up to him and go, I said, bro, because the bouncers were right there, 30 feet away. There was like 30 people in line, so they're, maybe not even that, 20 people in line. So the 2 bouncers right there. And I walk up, I said, go, bro, you think you're safe in public, bro? You think these bouncers are gonna help you, bro? Nothing can stop you. But I said, nothing can help you. If I decide to smash your ass, nothing can stop you. And he goes, oh man, what's up? I'm not trying to fight you. I said, fight me? There's gonna be no freaking fight. It's gonna be me beating your ass. I said, bro, you have the balls to put your hands on my girl? You think you can put your hands on my girl? And some black dude in line right behind him, who's there with his girl, goes, what, dog? He put his hands on your girl? Oh, hell no. He put his hands on your girl? I said, yeah. And I'm going to get his ass. So I take the red rope, and I unhook it. I said, come on, bro. Me and you're going to talk. Let's go here in the parking lot. I said, come on. I grab him. And I start pulling him. He's like, hell, man, I don't want to fight you. Stop saying fight, bro. Ain't going to be no fight. Then I say this, so all these people are watching. This whole crew, all these girls, bouncers, everybody's watching. And I walk them about 10, 15 steps. And I say, hey, man, today, this is my exact words, verbatim. I said, hey, man, today's your lucky day. He goes, what's that? I said, I'm going to let you hit me first. Now, if you hit me hard and knock me out, you'll be a hero. People will be like, yo, Scott knocked out Al, knocked him out. I'm going to let you sucker punch me, bro. I'm going to let you, wherever you want to hit me, man. I said, you better make it count. Better make it count, because if you don't, I'm going to stomp your ass out. But if you knock me out, you're a freaking hero, bro. And he goes, I know people, I get why people don't believe these stories. I get it. But this is exactly who I was and what I did. Exactly what I did. He said, hell, man, I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to hit you. And I was like, wham! I mean, I just slapped him. Boom. Slapped him. Hard as hell. You hear everyone in line go, oh! The black dude's like, damn! I slap him. I go, hit me, mother effer. Hit me. Come on, hit me. It's a lucky day, man. You're going to be a hero, bro. You're going to be the guy who knocked out Al Limblin, bro. You're a hero. You can do it, man. Cock back and put your infinite. I don't hit you, Al. I don't hit you, man. I ain't going to hit you. Wham! I slap him again. Boom, hard. Dude, I slapped him so hard that it almost knocked him out. Like, bam! It knocked him a couple steps. He fell back. His eyes rolled back. Like, it almost knocked him out from an open hand slap. Both of them. Both slaps were just as hard. Like I said, you punk, pussy, mother effer, man. Forgive my French. I'm just quoting what I said at the time. I don't like to curse. It's not right. But this is the guy who had it coming. He shoved my girl in the snow. Because of that, she lost like $1,300. And what kind of guy shoves a little girl in the snow? It's like a foot of snow. He shoves her by her head. She falls in the snow. Talking trash about me because I'm not there. So, anyways, I slapped him a couple times. I said, "You're lucky, bro. I'm not trying to go to jail. You're lucky I don't stomp your head out. But I might. At some point I might." So you better just hope I don't decide to do that. And then I left because I didn't know, maybe he called the cops, press charges. He had a bunch of witnesses there, you know, there's all his crews there, a bunch of their girls, the 2 bouncers. You know, he could call the cops and say, "Man, this guy just assaulted me, and I got a case, you know, of felonious assault or, you know, assault battery or whatever." So I'm just like, I'm out of here. I go to a different club, and I left. But it ends with this dude. It wasn't even over. So now fast forward like a year, man, or maybe even 2. I'm bouncing at Brownies on the Lake. This is when I'm bouncing at this nightclub. And it's like a Thursday, so there's not a lot of people in there. It's not real busy. This guy comes in with his girl, Lisa. It's this neighborhood trollop that everybody ran through. Well, no, she had a great body. She wasn't too bad looking, but she was a hoe. Everybody knew she was a hoe. And ran through her. He comes in with her. He's half drunk when he gets there. He gets drunk, and he starts talking trash to me, bringing up that assault case where he had to pay money for me assaulting this dude Norbert. For when the guy broke my finger on, and he had to go to court and fight it, which he got thrown out, but he had to go to court and fight it, and they paid a lawyer and all that. He's all mad about the money. He's bringing it up with me. He's all like shoving me. You're a freaking asshole, man. You owe me $3,000. I'm bouncing here, and he's like shoving me a little bit, kind of playful. And I say, "Hey, bro, you're drunk. Calm down, bro. Stop touching me." "I ain't scared of you, hell. I ain't scared of you." Blah, 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 blah. Shoves me again. So I grab him, yank him, pull him out the door, and I'm walking him out in the parking lot. And he's going, "I ain't scared of you, hell. I ain't scared of you." I said, "Yeah." Wham! And I just freaking jaw shot him and knock him out. Well, my bouncer, a gay dude named Chuck, I think was his name. A white gay dude. His name is Chuck. My manager saw me do it. Saw me walk him out in the parking lot and knock him out. I didn't really knock him out. I punched him in the mouth and he fell down. He wasn't out. He was like, fell down like to his hands and knees and kind of sat there like, what happened? And then he got up, and my bouncer Chuck goes, "Oh, that's it. You can't do that. You can't give me your shirt. That's it. You're fired." Well, he didn't know that Tony Giacalone got me that job there. Tony Giacalone, the mob boss. Because when I got that job, Tony Jack told me, because my grandpa asked him if he could get me some work. Tony said, "Yeah, I'll see what I can do, Pete," my grandpa. A week or 2 later, he says, "Hey, go up to Brownies. My friend Al's looking for security at the nightclub." This is the nightclub the whole mob hangs out at, everybody. It's a high roller nightclub. You know, top shelf drinks are $15. You pull up your yacht, your boats and stuff, and park them right up on the deck. It's a high-end place, the highest high-end place on the east side of Detroit, right? And all the mob guys from Grosse Pointe and St. Clair Shores, they go in there. And I worked there for 3 years. You know, it's only open in the summer, so I was only there in the summer months. But I was, but I ended up getting fired. You know, that's what. But the funny part was when I went in there and said, the old guy named Al Wagner was his name, Al Wagner. Really rich dude, maybe a billionaire. He had the biggest yacht in Michigan. It was called Brownies 2, named after his nightclub. I guess it was his second boat, Brownies. And the guy's a billionaire, owned the whole marina. Big guy, but he's a weird, skinny, little, old, eccentric dude with like long hair. And he was a creepy, weird dude. But nice enough. But when I went in there, I said, Tony Jack said you need me to be your head of security. And he's like, "Tony Jack? Giacalone sent you?" I said, "Yeah, he told me to go see you, Al, and that you need me to be the new head of security here." And he's like, "Okay." So basically, he walks me into his office and says, here's a couple of shirts. He says, these are the days you're going to work. Here's the names and phone numbers of the guys who work for you. And, if you need them or whatever. And so we need this many guys on this night, yada, yada. And I said, okay, great, cool. And I became his head of security at 20 years old. I basically walked in there and kind of half lied what Tony said. So I became his head of security. I'm 20 years old. I'm the head of security at this place. But anyways, which was cool because all these freaking young mob guys would come in there. Some of my cousins who were 17, 18, 19, 20 years old would come in there. Guys who were older, 25, 30 years old, would come in there. Some of them were 40, 50. They had different sets, of these guys. But everybody knew everybody. Everybody was friends with everybody. Everybody was cousins or related. That's just how it was. Everybody considered each other family. Everybody considered each other related, cousins and uncles. And, the young guys would mingle with the older guys, but not really hang out with them all night. The young guys would have their own section of the club, VIP booths or whatever, and the older guys would have their section, or they'd sit at the bar and they would drink, or they'd be out on the deck. There'd be this big massive 5,000 square foot deck. So you'd have the older guys in their 40s and 50s, mob guys, all mobbed up, hanging out. Everybody knew who they were. Everybody knew the Tringali crew. Everybody knew these guys. I was just a doorman. But they were all really respectful to me because they knew who I was, which was they just considered me a Toko because a couple of my cousins who knew I was a Toko introduced me to them as a Toko. This is my cousin Al Toko, and I go, well, my mother's Grace Toko. I'm not, my last name's Lindblom, but when they go, oh, Kabadi, Paisan, Kujin, they give me a hug and say, yeah, cool, whatever. And then over the years, they see me knock a guy out or slap a guy or throw a guy, and then guys would tell them, oh, yeah, he's moving heavyweight weed, or, he does this or he does that. He'll do anything for money. Some of them will come to me and say, hey, I got this safe job I'm trying to work on. You want to get involved? Like, yeah, or get this larceny record, this chop shop, or da-da. Like, yeah. So I was always getting involved with some kind of scam or racket or crime. That's all. But when the dude fired me, Chuck, the boss, I'm not even sure that's his name, but he was this little gay dude. He fired me, and then I called Tony and told Tony what happened. I said, hey man, this dude, I told him the whole story, kind of like I just told you. I was like, this is how I had a beef with this freaking douchebag dude who comes in there drunk, talking trash, keeps pushing on me, talking, nah, I'm scared of you. I kicked him out, he keeps talking, he pushes me, so I freaking knocked him out. I said, now Chuck fires me. So Tony gets on the phone, calls Al, the owner, says, yo, this is what happened, probably said it was his nephew because he was related to me through marriage. And if I said, hey, your guy Chuck fired my nephew because of this, and it was wrongfully so, he needs his job back. And so they called me and said, come back to work, and I did. That guy Chuck never liked me after that. But he didn't last there. They ended up firing him, and they hired this chick who was the girlfriend of Al's. That old creepy old man, he had like a 24-year-old girl. And I'll end the story on this because this is funny and creepy too, man. Like I get these, I can go on and on and on about stories in that place, the crap that I did, the time I freaking slapped up Eli in there. I could go on. But when they hired this new chick to work there, I'm like, who's this girl? She's like 25 years old, running the biggest, hottest nightclub on the east side. And it's a nice restaurant. It's a high-end restaurant too. So until they serve dinner till like 11, maybe 10, but it's the dinner there is $50, so it's not cheap. And she's running this place, and they're like, guys are like, oh yeah, it's Al's girlfriend. And he bought her a Mustang and a boob job. So she's got fake boobs and a new Mustang. He bought it for her. So she worked him. She simped him out of some money. Now he's got her working this job. It's a good job. She'd probably make $100,000 a year working it, or whatever. I don't care. So after a couple of nights working there, like a week, I come into work and she says, Al, come here, I want to talk to you. In my office, I'm thinking I'm in trouble. What did I do? I did something. I'm saying I had a few encounters in there. I almost got in a fight with Bob Probert, the famous hockey player, which wouldn't have been a fight. It would have been him whooping my ass, hands down. I could have never whipped Bob Probert, bro. I'm so glad that didn't happen. I didn't know it was him. I kept telling move, sir, and he's getting cocky. I said, sir, if you don't move, I have to ask you to leave. Somebody goes up to me and goes, yo, do you know who that is? I'm like, who? And like that tall guy, you're just busting his balls. I'm like, yeah, no, some dude. He's like, that's Bob Probert, man. And I'm like, what? Bob Probert is like the badass in hockey, in the NHL. Just the destroyer. They call him the destroyer, the enforcer. Guy was a beast. Oh God, he would have beat my ass so bad. I mean, it wouldn't have been anything. Unless I knocked him out with one punch for the sucker punch, I would have had no chance. He would just pummel. Oh, scary how bad that guy could whip you. But anyway, so I had a couple encounters and things like that I could have done. I actually asked Cecil Fielder, the famous center fielder for the Tigers, if he would sign a poster for me while I was there, which is probably not appropriate to do when you're working there as a bouncer. He's there with his family. He came every Saturday night. And my friend Gino, or my good friend Gino, we're having a surprise graduation party for him. And so he was a big fan of Cecil Fielder. He played baseball. So I wanted to get this signed poster of Cecil Fielder and give it to him for his graduation. So I brought it in there and I asked him to sign it. And my boss was like, "What are you doing, bro? He's there with his kids and his wife." I was like, "Yeah." I told him the thing. Like, I don't know if I'm in trouble. So she brings me in the office to shut the door. And I'm like, okay, this is bad. She says, "Take your shirt off." And at the time, I was a ripped up young bodybuilder. I'd been doing bodybuilding shows like the year before, maybe a year or two before. I did some bodybuilding shows, but I was all beefed up, trained. I might have been doing steroids. She says, "Take your shirt off." I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Take your shirt off. We have new uniforms." And she grabs the shirt off her desk. She throws it at me, and I catch it, and they're black. The other ones were like dark burgundy. It said "Brownies on the Lake Security." So I'm like, okay, I'll go in the bathroom. She says, "No, right here." And she's clearly sending me a message like, "Yo, I'm trying to bone you right here, right now." And I'm just like, all right, cool. I gotta run. I gotta do something really quick, but I'll put it on. I'll be back. And I ran out of there. And after that, she didn't like me either. She didn't like me because, I didn't succumb to her advances and bone her like she wanted. She couldn't do nothing. Nobody could fire me or nothing like that. I got everybody a job there, dude. I got Joey and Ray a job there. My best friend Jay's bartender. A couple of girl waitresses. I got people in the kitchen working. I had like 6 people working there. I got my cousin Joe a job bouncing there. And it's funny because he's like, I just talked to him and he's like, "Yo, didn't I get you a job bouncing there?" I'm like, "No, bro, I got you a job. I was working there for like 3 years when I got you the job." He's like, "Oh, I can't remember." And that he was there the night I slapped Eli up and got arrested. But anyways, that's another story in the books. Probably a nice long 2-part series. I'm at home now. Got my tooth fixed temporarily. But anyways, that was my old life. I know they're entertaining, these stories. That's why I share them, because I want people to be entertained. But I also want people to know that I don't condone that behavior. That is not who I am anymore. I would never act like that ever. I don't condone fighting or violence or criminal behavior at all. In fact, I'd be the first to admit that type of behavior is for idiots, morons, and dummies. And anyone who engages in that type of behavior is an idiot, moron, or dummy. Flat out. You could be anything. The dentist intern that worked on me just now is a Chaldean guy, which is Arabic. He's from Chicago, but he's going to school at Ann Arbor. He's probably 27 years old. He's becoming a dentist. The guy's going to make $300,000-$400,000 a year. By the time he's 35, he'll be making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Opens a practice, maybe making $1 million or $2 million a year. Good-looking guy, super handsome, nice guy, very smart. That is gangster. That is gangster. Christian guy. Chaldeans are Christian. They're Christian Iraqis. So if you hear, most Iraqis are Muslim, but Chaldeans are Christian Iraqis. They're all real handsome dudes. I said that. It's like, I never met an unattractive Chaldean. Like, the women are all gorgeous, and the men are all got great genetics. They're super handsome. I'm like, geez, you guys got it going on. But he's like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Nice guy." But anyways, yeah, these things are really, these stories are really just, yes, for entertainment, but B, even more importantly, are to juxtapose my life today. I live here out in the country in the middle of nowhere. Have a beautiful, wonderful, committed, adoring wife. I fish, I hunt, I write my books. I help authors write their books. I ghostwrite books for people. I write scripts. Now I'm working on a documentary. I have all these things going in my life that are all a result of God's mercy and grace on my life. God changed my heart in prison. He turned my heart like upside down, right to left, complete 180. He says, "No, you're better than this. I have a greater plan for you. You're going to do big things. I have something special planned for you." And he told me to start writing. and I started writing books, and that was 15, 16 years ago, whatever it is. No, that's 21 years ago. Sorry, jeez, I'm getting old. And it changed my life. I ended up with this life as a result of him saying, sit down, use this talent that I have given you while you're in prison, start writing. It's a bunch of deer in broad daylight. 2 fawns and a mother. Fawns are getting pretty big though. They should pull out there. 2 fawns are running and mommy's running. They're still spotted little fawns, so cute. Right there. Anyways, yeah, God can change. God can change anybody. So if you give yourself to God, allow your heart to be, surrendered to God. Say, I've had enough of the failure in the life I'm existing. Show me the way, help me, guide me, protect me, hold my hand. Watch what happens, bro. Watch what happens. You'd be shocked. I mean, I'm a pretty good example of incredible miracles that can happen. My life's not perfect, trust me, far from that. But compared to where I was before prison, compared to prison, I mean, look around. I'm in paradise. At least my version thereof. So I hope that people watch this and go, ha ha ha, that was funny, that was entertaining, Gunner. It's a good story. All the crazy drama from the neighborhood and fighting and stupid behavior. But it's a miracle that God turned your life around and blessed you with such prosperity now that you've given your life to him. It literally is a miracle. And I am proof that miracles happen, because based on who I was, I shouldn't be here, man. I should be dead. I should be in prison. But nope, I'm here. I'm going to go lay in my hammock and get some sun. Get a little tan before I head to Detroit for the week. Yeah.
Former prisoner and inmate.
You did it.
What are you doing, Guns?
He bit the hell out of him.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the rest of your body, got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success